again, please.
You're on, honey.
I'm on, eh? This morning, a friend of mine who is actually my wife's cousin and mine by marriage, she says, I won't say what I'm thinking. You know, really, that's how America's gotten lost so far. And we've all been there. We've been tired, we've been aggravated, we've been stressed. And, you know, even in the times when we're tired, we have to trust our God to give us the strength we need to carry on. Men have given their literal lives. That's beyond the point of stress. They've laid down their lives and they've died in a cold, barren land. No family around for hundreds of miles. Some thousands of miles. Died, gave their lives for the freedom of our country. And all that we have to do is to encourage a vote. Vote for someone who is Christian, who is the foundation of who we are, who is able to keep America where we need to be. The Bible tells us in Psalms 9:17, destruction is automatic when we forget about who God is. Automatic. I'm not willing that the devil should just come in and take me over like that. For all of you who don't believe or who think the Bible isn't, you know, and just because our preachers have lost track of where we need to be, it seems like the morality of our country is coming from the media now rather than from the church where it should come from. They're dictating our moral standard. Example, the transgender issue that has been brought up is not an issue really. It's only an issue because the media decided they could use it to elect the next president. Well, you know, nobody, Hillary's not chiming in on it, you know, because the media, they've ran on both sides against Trump as far as that goes, and they are trying to guide our moral background of who we should be and need to be, and they don't even know themselves. If Trump says it, then it's wrong. If he says one thing, that's wrong. If he goes the opposite, they say that's wrong too. You know? And it's like the Bible said, in the last days, bad will be called good and good will be called bad. And even in the midst of all this junk, man, we have to stand up. We have to stand up. We have to be accounted. We have to put ourselves in line. We have to put ourselves in dangerous positions sometimes. You know something, where would we be today? We live in a different world now because Martin Luther King existed. I read a statement he said one time. You can't just not go because somebody threatens you. Man, he lived in a day when it was dangerous for a black man to stand up and say, I have a dream. You know, we'd have never heard that statement. We would have never known the intelligence of Martin Luther King. We could not have used him for an example to set angry young men back on the track of righteousness, if not had been for that great man who was willing to stand up and be called an American on behalf of godly men. Godly men. Godly men. James 4:17 says, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin to him. I know that's what Martin Luther King was looking at. The King James says, therefore to him that knoweth to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. Stand up and be counted. Peter, on that great sermon in the book of Acts, stood up and said, men and brethren, and he didn't care who was hearing. You know what? He could have been like Stephen, man. They could have took him out and stoned him rather than hearing him on that day. But when God fixes the place so that people's hearts want to hear us again, that's the time we need to stand up. Listen, the best place, I told the pastor the other day, the best place to start a fire is in a dry forest. God is making America dry. He is making America dry. He is drying up this place. He is putting at a staggering rate the hearts of men in a degrading position that they might know Him. That they might know Him. Because our preachers, you know something? We have people in this land who love God, who have not been taught the truth by men who have no idea what the truth is. The leaders of our churches. The leaders of our churches. That's why it's so ripe. This is why when Elijah shows up, the one who carries that spirit, as John the Baptist carried it, when he shows up, it's going to be like a flaming torch in a forest that has been dead for 10 years. Man, it is going to burn like you have never seen before. Put it out? Oh, you can forget it. Be no such thing as put it out. Now listen to this. Acts 26:16. NIV. Now get up and stand on your feet. I have appeared to you to appoint you as a servant and as a witness of what you have seen and will see of me. King James says, Acts 26:16 says, but rise and stand on your feet, for I have appeared unto you thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto thee. This was a statement from the Lord Himself, sending a message back to His people. Thank you. And I'm preaching. Yes, sirree, but I'm preaching. I'll never forget what that lady said to me. Why you move back and forth? Because I can't sit still. I pity the man. It's like Mr. T says, I pity the man who gets a job as my cameraman when I get a television. He's going to get more exercise, buddy, than any man I know. I love to get stirred up in God, man. You know, in my heart and dreams, man, and my faith causes me to fly. And yours should too. Yours should too. Get to that place in God where we can make a difference in the lives of people. Get up and preach right where you are. You don't have to be a great big evangelical long list of degrees type of person. I mean, you don't need none of that stuff. All you need is this right here. Listen, Mark 11:23. I tell you, NIV, I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, you know where I'm going with this, right? Go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Jesus says, I'll do it. If you believe it, I'll do it. You don't need a degree. You only need to trust Him. A degree. And I love the way the King James says it. For truly, or verily, or truly I say unto you, whatsoever, or whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he says shall come to pass, he shall have it. He shall have whatsoever he says. And I want to ask you right now, what are you saying to your heart right now? You're saying, I can never do that? Then you will never do that. If you're saying, I need some kind of school before I can go, then you need some kind of school. If you're saying, all I need is the Word of God, I'm going to put this in my heart, Hebrews 10:16, then that's what you need. When God called Samuel, He didn't say, Samuel, you have to go and get all kind of degrees, and you have to learn under the kings, and you have to be taught by such and such a prophet, 10 of them or so, and you have to listen to the opinion of the world before you can master this thing. No, none of that. Didn't say any of that. He said, say not that I am but a youth. Say not that I am but, because I will put my words in your mouth. So what words are you allowing to come into your mouth today? All right, God bless you. Thank you for joining me. See you again next time, Crossing the Middle Ministry.